Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion. And this one was basically sent in through Degrassi Reddit 3 weeks ago when this person named Stellar Cascade said, quote, "Do you think that Rick should have brought a gun to school if it was just a paint and feathers incident, or was it Eva that made him officially snap?" He or she goes on to say that after the paint incident happens, Emma tried to console him, and Rick ends up kissing her, believing that she had a thing for him. To which Emma replies that she just felt sorry for him. So I'm curious if her words to him was the official breaking point, or if he was set on getting revenge already. I'll give you the Reddit community's talking points before I get my voice in there. Head Huncho said, off topic, but it spooks me that 4 other people were more prominent than Paige. He was ready to pull it out on her, like Paige, Emma, Toby, and Spinner. Basically, what I say, well, I'll get more into it when I do my talk. Dirty Prancing said it was the Jimmy thing that sealed the deal. He officially hadn't changed no one's mind about him. Corona Bride says, I don't think it was her words, but a rejection that played a small part in it. Not that it was her fault. But if she kissed him back and expressed that she had feelings for him, he wouldn't have brought the gun to school. He would have been happy in the moment. However, he snapped. He may have snapped and hurt Emma or someone else eventually, just not that day. Where Junior said, I think the thing with Emma is just one of many things that pushed him in that direction. Degrassi actually did a good job taking their time with this storyline. School shooters don't have one thing that makes them snap. It's a perfect storm of circumstances. He was unstable. Even before hurting Terry, he exhibited strange behavior. He realized it was wrong, but Terry's friends couldn't forgive him. A lot of people couldn't. They used it as their primary platform to bully him relentlessly for months. He made friends with another outcast, finds something he's good at, makes a friend of his crush, and one of his former bullies. When it appears things are looking up, he's humiliated, rejected by his crush, and made to believe that his new friend was an instrument in his humiliation. Emma's rejection was just one piece of the puzzle. It's hard to determine if all or just some of this piece is needed for him to go through with it. That is fucking amazing. I like that one. Blew my mind. Where Junior? That blew my mind. Wax Museum said if the Emma situation hadn't happened, I guess he still would have brought the gun because he was gonna get Paige when he came back. I imagine with Emma, it was like he was just clutching at straws. There's a question. If he came back intending to shoot Paige, but then didn't, because she was kind to him, but then Jimmy and Spinner set the dominoes for Jimmy to be shot, who knows what he would have done after that? He was wandering around in a daze. Maybe Snake or Raj or Quan, heck, even Toby would have come across him and tried to get him to put down the gun. A lot of people said the bathroom incident did it. Because they said that he came to school with a gun, was going to shoot Paige, but she apologized to him, so he put it away. Later in the bathroom is when Jane Spinner pinned the prank on Jimmy, and Rick shoots him. Yeah. And somebody said that I thought he decided against shooting with someone to talk to him. Then in the bathroom, he decided to do it. He went for his gun when Paige approached him, but changed his mind when she said that everything was disgusting and immature. He then decided to go to the bathroom to clean it up. There, he heard Jane Spinner's conversation about Jimmy playing dumb and getting easy questions wrong and setting the whole thing up. And then he finds Jimmy and all that. The thing about that is that a lot of these people do make sense with a lot of stuff. And it's like, well, that's a good idea and all that. Now, here's the thing, though. It's kind of an unpopular opinion. But, in this case, it's basically, was Emma the last straw for what Rick did? And the answer is no. You can say yes and you can say no. But here's the problem with Rick. He came back in season 4. He basically decided that, heck, you know what? I'm going to come back to Degrassi. I'm going to try to make people like me again. And then basically I'm going to end up, trying to make friends of Paige's friends. Because, I feel remorse for what I did to Terry. However, basically Paige, Spinner, Jimmy, Alex, and a few other people, even Marco, were not too happy with him because, Rick did this to a beloved character, to a beloved girl, and basically she went to private school and all that because of Rick's thing and all that. It's like, well, you know, Rick was Rick figured he was going to get shat on in a sense, but basically he knew that he was going to try to get everyone's forgiveness. But putting someone in a coma and then basically getting away with it, that's why people hated him. Because a lot of people are like, how come he never got a criminal charge placed on him and all that? Well, basically, Rick might have got lucky in a trial because if, depending on how injured Terry was, Terry might have been an unreliable witness, and basically Rick's lawyer probably would have settled things. I mean, Rick, in his mind, figured that he would get everyone's forgiveness and all that. It might take him a little bit, but it never happened. In the 2 months that he basically was at Degrassi that season, basically he was done for it. Nobody was going to believe him and all that. I mean, not everyone had a right to forgive Rick for what he did, and he should have gotten a bit of a more punishment. But the fact of the matter is that, Rick has a good thinking about himself. Rick's sweet. Rick thinks he can do everything, but he's delusional too. He says he's going to get help from Sove, but it was never told if he was legit, if he legit got help, or basically he was just lying to people. Because we never get to find out the whole truth. Like, we never find out the whole truth if he was lying to people when he said he was going to Sove, or he was actually going to Sove. If he was lying, or he legit was going to Sove. That's the way people think. Is that basically what he did was wrong, and I don't condone it either. But I mean, Rick came back, and basically the students were angry because the administration did nothing and all that. I mean, Raj said that the school board and police said that basically he was clear to come back, so he had to let him back in. His hands were tied, in a sense. And besides, the incident happened off school grounds, so basically, what is he going to do about it? How's he going to get involved in it? Well, of course, it all snowballs to the fact that time stands still. Rick gets hurt by Jimmy and Spinner. He decides to spray can their cars with the circle and the Axe Wakanda Forever. And then basically, he gets Jay, Spinner, and Alex's dander up. Because those are the three that really torment him. Paige doesn't really torment him as much. And, Jimmy used to be on the bully side. Now, Rick convinces Jimmy to switch sides because, Rick's had it tough. And Toby, basically, will be next in line. I mean, that's just wicked. So, anyway, when he gets paid and feathered and all of that, and basically he gets embarrassed in front of the whole school who are laughing at him. Not everyone was laughing at him. A few of them were disgusted, but the majority were. He was upset, and Emma decides to take her steps and basically tell Rick that, they're the idiots, and no one cares about that. You've saved the school with your smarts. But unfortunately for Emma, she was naive. And then Rick, after all, decides to kiss Emma because, he figures that Emma is protecting him because Emma has a crush on him. But no, Emma was just pitying him. And basically, the violence campaign against him was wrong. I mean, the Orange Ribbon campaign had a point about people against domestic violence, but that doesn't mean that it gives everyone a free ride to basically beat up the abuser and all that. Some people said that the abuser deserves what they get, but I mean, Rick should have gotten a little bit of bullying, and then basically after a week, it's like, oh, he's not going anywhere. We might as well just stop it before it gets too far. But it got farther than everyone thought. And Emma basically protected Rick because she figured that violence against the person, it's supposed to be a non-violence protest, not the finally beat up Rick and kill him and all that. And then, of course, Paige and her clique basically turned on Emma, and basically Emma's on a lonely island. Because, Emma lost Liberty and Manny as friends and basically was trying to fit in and all that. But she couldn't fit into Paige's social group. She couldn't believe the crap they were working on. So she basically decides to do the right thing. But in everyone else's minds, basically that Emma's campaign's over, and basically Emma is now persona non grata. And basically, who talks to Emma much other than Toby and Rick? Nobody. I mean, the fact of the matter is that Emma was just letting him down gently. Emma even told Rick after she saved him the first time, said that basically I did it because it was the right thing to do. I have no feelings about you, but he tore it off. He basically didn't like that, and as somebody said, it was nice guy logic. He was just in his own head. He figured that Emma was the only girl that was willing to take a bullet for him, if you will. And then when Emma finally lashes out at him, saying that I pitied you, get a clue, in his mind, he figures that Emma had basically betrayed him. But I think, in a sense, he may have found it's hard to think if he was thinking about taking the gun out of his dad's cabinet or not. It's like, well, that was just the last piece of it. There was a perfect storm of it. The Pain and Feathers thought of everything. I think Rick would have taken revenge with the Pain and Feathers in the first place, but now that Emma has spurned him, even though he was just trying to be nice to her, he had a new target. But then again, remember, he didn't go after Emma. He went after Paige first. But Paige calmed him down so much that, he put the gun down. And I'm shocked with all the cafeteria people that somebody didn't just raise like an alarm bell and try to get Rick out. Or even try to talk to Rick and all that. But even if they did, maybe Rick turns around and points the gun at them and then starts the shooting. And then he might shoot Paige. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is that, he was humiliated enough. I mean, Emma's kiss was just he kissed Emma. Emma felt bad for how Rick was being treated and all that. And basically, Emma was on a lonely island with him, Heather Sinclair, and Toby, because the Wacky Brain team, because she had nothing else. And, he was going after Paige because Paige was spreading the anti-Rick rhetoric and thinks that Paige has a grudge against Rick. Of course she has. Like, she fucking had a right to, because, Rick put her friend in a coma. Although some people say that, Paige may be kicking herself for the fact that she should never let Terry go off towards Rick. And then, Rick would have hurt Terry. I think Paige lived with that guilt. That if she hadn't allowed Terry to come by to go after Rick, then maybe Terry would be okay. But Terry doesn't believe Paige's stuff. I guess because Terry wants to be with somebody. I wish she was with Sean or somebody else who cared about her. Even Craig, even. So, yeah, it's like, Emma was doing the right thing. And, Emma was being shunned by the whole school for protecting Rick. I mean, it's hard to say, but I have a feeling that basically nobody wanted to deal with Emma after what she did to protect Rick. Rick was the enemy, and Emma basically was protecting him, and basically Emma was made persona non grata. And that's the point I'm making, is that if Emma got shot, how many people would have cared about Emma being shot? Maybe the school was just so pissed off of Emma for protecting Rick that their judgment was clouded, all that. But no, I say that basically Rick might have got the revenge in the first place. I mean, he had the gun, and then he put it in his locker because he's like, well, Paige didn't do it. Who else did it? And basically, he doesn't believe anyone. But then, of course, Jay and Spinner pinned things on Jimmy. But Jay and Spinner easily got Rick's hopes up before the tiebreaker. Because, remember, they said that everything was cool, and then Rick believes it. And then, out of earshot, they basically do the Pain and Feathers mixture and all that. And why Spinner confessed to Jimmy about the whole thing and laughing about it, like, that doesn't make sense. Spinner, if you did something evil, you should keep it under your hat. But he didn't. But then again, Jay and Spinner were blaming Jimmy for everything. Rick shot Jimmy. But remember, Rick did not look straight at Jimmy when he shot him. He turned his head, but he still got Jimmy in the spine. And then he walked with a purpose to try to destroy Emma and all of them. Emma, because of her spurning him and all that. I wouldn't be surprised if Rick was alive and all that, and would get some sympathy for the fact that if Emma hadn't, maybe from his mother, that if Emma hadn't spurned him, then Rick wouldn't turn crazy. She would probably have blamed Emma for everything. If I wouldn't be surprised if she did. But then again, Rick didn't tell his side of the story because he was fucking dead. But the fact of the matter is, Emma's not to blame. I know a lot of people said that why was she protecting Rick in the first place? And it wasn't even her cause in the first place with this whole Rick thing. However, remember, Paige and the group, the clique, including Spinner, told Emma that he's a tenor because he had to drop a year because he was being homeschooled. And basically, he might go after Emma. And everyone knows that Emma's the cause girl, and everyone knows that Emma is going to be willing to get rid of Rick. But of course, with her getting rid of Rick with the violent campaign, it was just to not break the rules. And it was kind of a little evident that basically she did it to try to get at Radish's head because, Radish just had to piss her off again by saying that this is not one of your crusades for getting rid of Rick. Because I think he's tired of her trying to do the right thing and basically undermining him. I think he still has the hatred from the GMO foods thing. I mean, yeah, Emma was wrong in that situation just as much as Radish, but basically she told the whole school that she was being punished for this, and basically, she tells the school, and Radish in his mind figures that now that Emma has told about the school about Radish's reactions and all that, he may lose control of the school. I mean, it's hard to say. I doubt he would have believed Emma with the whole Sean stealing stuff about things because he may still have a grudge against Emma. So yeah. No, Emma wasn't the one who did it. Emma was sweet and honest and all that. But, Rick in his mind wanted to be with somebody and knew that Emma was without somebody. If Emma was with a boyfriend, he would have destroyed the boyfriend before Emma. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Emma wasn't to blame for this. She's to blame for a lot of things, but not for that. I mean, why are we hating Emma on that? It wasn't her fault. It was all Rick's fault for being so jealous and petty. I'm Jeff Diamond. Ado.